You know how you hear Republicans complaining all the time about Solyndra and like, oh my God, look at all these subsidies that the Democrats are giving to green companies, solar companies and wind companies. Oh my God, they're giving away our American tax dollars. And then some of these companies go bankrupt and said, outrage. I said, outrage. So you've got to figure among the energy companies, renewable fuels must be getting the most amount of subsidies from the American government, right? Wrong again, Bob. Let me show you the list. This is according to Doug Koplow, and he's with the energy consulting firm EarthTrack. This is one of the most preeminent experts in this field in this country. Here's his estimate for the subsidies that the different energy fields get. Renewable fuels get $6 billion in subsidies. Hey, that's a lot. Ethanol, $6 billion. But that number is actually going to go down because we had rare progress in that field. So ethanol subsidies will get taken away a little more in the future. Coal comes in next at $8 billion. So wait a minute, coal gets more than renewable energies? Coal is as dirty as it gets. Okay, well then you've got nuclear at $9 billion. Who even realizes that nuclear is getting $9 billion a year in subsidies? It's taxpayer money. That could be our money. Instead, it's going to the nuclear industry, which makes no sense. 57% of Americans think that there should be no subsidies for nuclear energy whatsoever. But as you can see, the big number at the bottom, oil and gas getting $41 billion a year in subsidies. So when they complain about subsidies going to renewable energies, it's nonsense. When we tried to take away, we meaning I guess progressives, and actually some Democrats. So hey, look at that. When they proposed to take away oil subsidies, the Republicans lost it. They were like, how dare you? These are job creators. We need these subsidies. You need subsidies to motivate oil companies, literally the most profitable companies in the world, to do what they would do anyway, which is to make the largest amount of profit in the world of any company. They don't need a subsidy for that. Some of these subsidies are nearly a century old. In the beginning, the reason they gave the subsidy, some of them at least, to the oil companies was because they wanted to stimulate a new market, kind of like what they're doing with renewable energy now. But the Republicans turn that on its head and say, instead of stimulating a new field that could then create jobs and add to the economy, no, let's try to kill that field and give the unnatural advantage to a field that already exists, that is already massively profitable. Why? Because the oil and gas companies fund the Republican Party. That's why. So that's why they will protect the $41 billion in subsidies per year to their death, almost to their political death, because they refused to budge on that issue, and they suffered in the polls over the last couple of months because they would never make a deal that took away oil and gas subsidies in any way. You think they want to balance the budget? They don't give a damn about the budget. You think they care about deficits? No. Over 10 years, that's over $400 billion in subsidies. Meanwhile, they go around cutting minority business development fund. I thought you wanted to develop businesses. Oh, no, not for minorities. You know how much they cut? $2 million. That's all that it was. $2 million, they cut it. But $41 billion, they'll give to oil and gas. And by the way, you think that's the only advantages that those established companies already get? No. There's also secret subsidies that David Sirota writes about. A great article. Environmental Law Institute broke this down. They are providing substantially larger subsidies for fossil fuels than the renewables, they explain. They come in the form of special tax breaks for things like fracking, but it gets much deeper than that. You know what they do? They say, even for foreign oil companies, who cares? As long as you've given us donations and eventually jobs, et cetera, we don't care where the money goes. It's not like we give a damn about taxpayers. No. We give them special breaks as well. For example, the Export-Import Bank of the United States approved $3 billion for hundreds of miles of gas pipeline and liquid natural gas plant project in Papua New Guinea. What? Wait a minute, I thought you were against foreign aid. Why is $3 billion going to Papua New Guinea? Oh, because it's ExxonMobil's project. So who cares that it goes to a foreign country? ExxonMobil gets paid. Renewable energies, no, we're not going to give money to them. They get a pittance. No, the old guys that are excellent at legalized bribery, they're the ones that get all the money. And the list goes on and on. The United States Geological Survey offers training and technology to geologists who's exploring shale gas in Europe. Why? Because, again, somebody's getting paid for that. What does Europe have to do with us? Nothing. It's just somebody's bought the right politicians. Vice President Dick Cheney's Energy Task Force, you remember that during the Bush administration? They passed legislation exempting fracking from oversight that other energy development companies have to deal with. So that's another secret subsidy. When you don't have to deal with regulation, because Dick Cheney made sure you didn't have to, you save more money. You save more money in the regulation that you don't have to apply, and in all those annoying safety things like regulations you'd have to do. No. You just skip all that and add more to your bottom line and then funnel some of that back to the Republican Party. So when you hear them talking about how, oh my God, they're giving so much money to solar energy, so many breaks to that industry, it's nonsense. Yes, they get some money, as I just showed you, right? But the established oil and gas companies do a 10 times, 100 times better job of bribing our politicians to get the best breaks in the world, including straight up subsidy money that comes out of our pockets. It's an outrage.